What is up, guys, and welcome to another video all to do with Unity ads. Now today's videos are going to be in reference to a comment made in my Unity ads mediation video where someone commented that after so many ad watches they would then want to unlock all the levels to their game. So this is how you do that. Now before we get started, there are different ways of recording. You count the number of ads that the user watches. Now the logic's going to be the same. However, depending on how you and your game operates is how you're going to want to do it. So for example, the way I've done it, just to make this video easy to follow and easy to understand, is just using player preferences. Don't know what player preferences are? It's basically just an internal save system that Unity has, but it's quite unsecure in the sense that people can change the data within it. However, if your game runs on a database, then have it connected up to database and just having that extra ad count column. But yeah, so the logic is where I put in the player preferences, that would be you connected to your database per se, if that's how you work it. Alternatively, just use player preferences. So without too much jargon today, let's get straight on into the code. Right then, so diving in. This is, if you watch previous videos and you are familiar with this, the only difference is I've got unlocked all levels here, which has been badly placed by myself. However, this will simulate you unlocking all of the levels for the player. So when we actually click into here, you'll see that fact it doesn't actually come up. And this will only come up once we've clicked on this rewarded ad button 5 times. Now I'm going to show you how to do that. I have already pre-made some of my code in order to show you, but I will show you how it works. And yeah, let's go from there then. So starting off there, I've created a rewarded ads manager. So this has the text which is just here, the GM text. Now this would simulate the script really as to where your levels are kept, your level manager, assuming you've got one. Now the reason why I say link it is just so that you can literally just fire in one of the functions which unlocks all of them. In my script I've called this God mode, which is that function just here. Now as I've said in the intro, I'm using player preferences to count the number of ads that a player uses. However though, obviously if you're using a database, you'd use a database instead of player preferences. Probably in very similar logic to the way I've done it here. So just to go over my rewarded manager script, we've got the game object, which would resemble your script for your level count, for your level manager. We've got the key. Now this is the key that's used for the player preferences. So the first thing I've done within the start function, so this function runs as soon as you start the application. We've got the set out to false. This just sets that text to false. This then checks to see if the player has already started using, has already started watching ads. So if the player has, if this key is not present within player preference, which is done by this exclamation mark here, then what it will do is it will set that key within the player preferences, but set it to 0 because your user at this point hasn't watched a single ad. Now, if that key does exist within the player preferences, then it will just ignore that and everything just carries on and doesn't change anything at all. So then we've got an ad counter where what we do is we create an int called C, which stands for current. We then get the current key, so the current value of ad count, and then we add the number onto it. So in this case, in add num, and this is a number that we pass through the rewarded ads script. Now, if C equals to 5, player has unlocked God mode. I'm just going to add a quick debug onto here. Debug God activated. There we go. Oh, I forgot to put in debug.log. Right. And then after that, it then sets the player preference to, it saves the ad count to the new current, which is this key just here. Then we've then got just a very quick debug that just sends to the console what the player is currently at. And then set on there what God mode actually is. So God mode, set levels to unlock. In our case, it will be turning that text to true, to active again. Now, in order to actually link your rewarded ad script to this, we go over to rewarded ad script. We've added in this line just here, which is the public rewarded manager RM. RM just stands for rewarded manager. However, if we then go back into our Unity script, go over to the rewarded ads, we can now add our level manager or whatever it is this your script's running on in order to God mode and also to increase the number of ads users watched. We then go back to here. Now this is where magic happens. So now if we go down here all the way over to user rewarded, we can then go into here and go with rm dot add counter, and in this case I'm just going to do 1. So all that's going to do is when the user is rewarded, the ad count is going to be set to 1. It's going to run this function just here and increase that by 1. It's then going to check to see if it reaches the limit. If it has the players in it that unlocks God mode, sets the key back also to 5 again, and then the user is set to player preferences. Now, there we go. So that is, in a nutshell, how you do it. So, should we just test it out? Now, before I continue, what I'm going to say is you're going to have to, when you're testing this out, you're going to have to watch an ad. If we click skip on there, you'll notice it doesn't come up anything to do with the watch being, the ad count being increased. However, though, if we watch the rewarded ad, wait till it gets all the way to the end, then click X, you will see we've got user is currently set to 1 ad watch. So yeah, let's watch another one. Currently set to 2. The reason why I use player preferences is now when we load back into it, and it's also the same as to why I also suggest you you find a way that stores it some way, whether that be in your database or using player preferences. Then it's entirely up to you. But it means the fact that now when we click on X again, it stores the data. So now we're on 3. 2 more to go, guys. I'll speed this bit up. Get able to write. Okay. If you ever just get a random error in the console, just clear it and try it again. So now we're on 4. Now when we do the 5th one, we should get down here that God mode is activated. Unlocked all levels. There we go. God mode activated. So there we go. That is quite simply how to add a counter to your rewarded ads and then do something after that counter hits a certain amount. Now, if this is what you're after, then absolutely fantastic. Otherwise, do let me know. If you're new to the channel and you just want to learn on about how to monetize your game, or you're a bit confused as to the Unity Ads network, what I do is a lot of the kind of responding to people within the comments, finding solutions to their problems within Unity ads, and hopefully helping a community monetize their Unity game. Thank you very much for watching, and please do give us a thumbs up. Maybe even consider hitting that subscribe button. I'm new to all of this and I would really much appreciate it. Thank you very much.